Hey, what's going on, RC drivers? Welcome to the workshop. You guys haven't seen this side of it yet. This is the empty side that is causing all of the echoing here in the workshop. I haven't had a chance to build the workbenches yet and the cabinets and everything, but as soon as I get all that stuff in here, the echo should die down. I actually have some moving blankets that I've been putting up to try to damp some of the sound for now, but it's a work in progress. But I did get a new camera. This is actually a GoPro Hero 8 Black. I figured I'd try it out. And today we are going to talk about the Element RC Enduro24 Sendero. You guys have probably already seen this. It is a very cool 24 scale, ready to run truck. I'm pretty excited to check it out because it comes with everything. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun for my backyard. So rather than talking in this echoing workshop, I thought I'd head out to the trail and we could talk about its features there while I drive it. Let's head out. This thing looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun to drive. So here we are at one of my favorite parks to go and test drive a lot of vehicles that you see here on the channel, and I know it's gonna be a perfect spot for the Enduro24. But before we get over to the place where I wanna go and drive this thing, I thought I'd stop and tell you a little bit about what it comes with and some of its features as well. So it is the Enduro24, which means it's 24 scale. So if you're looking for something really small to drive in your backyard, maybe indoors or at the local park, this is a great little bargain to get. I mean, it's $100 and it comes ready to run just as you see it here. They actually have two different body styles available as well. So if you don't like the blue and red, there's also, I think it's a yellow and black, but I like this color. This is pretty cool. It goes with the driver colors. So when you open up the box, you'll have your transmitter in there, you'll have a battery pack, you'll have a USB charger, some extra body posts, and some paperwork that goes along with getting to know the vehicle. Now, what I thought was really cool inside the box is Element RC also gives you one of their scale garages. Yeah, you turn the box inside out and you could use it as a garage for this truck. Now let's talk about some of the details of the truck itself, and obviously this is the Sendero style of body, so if you have the 10 scale version, you might want to grab the 24th to go along with it. I bet you it's got to be a lot of fun. Pretty cool body setup. I mean, it has that Element RC look to it, and the only thing I wish they kind of did was have clear windows on it. That would have been cool to have clear windows on such a small vehicle for those of you that really want to go and scale it up. But scale details on the outside of it, we've got this front bumper that has a little bull bar, and it actually has LED lights inside of it. So you get some LED lights, and they're actually dim when you're in neutral, and I noticed that when you pull full throttle, they brighten up, so that's pretty cool as well. On all four corners, we got these super swamper style looking tires. They're not licensed, and the rims aren't licensed. They're black spoke wheel, but they do look cool, and they are very soft, so hopefully that grabs some traction. All right, let's go and make our way closer to where I'm gonna go drive this thing, and I'll stop again to tell you some more features. All right, so let's talk about the electronics now. It does come with your basic 2-channel ready-to-run style of radio system. It's got your basic trims on there, which works out pretty well. The steering servo on here is a CMS servo, so it's mounted to the chassis, and it's a 3-wire servo. So if you did want to go and swap it out later on down the road, you do have that option, but we'll see how it works first. Right next to it is actually the motor. The motor is mounted towards the front, so it gets more weight over the front wheels, and that's connected to a 2-in-1 receiver speed controller setup. So it's it's an all-in-one type of unit there, which tends to work out pretty well in these small vehicles. It saves definitely a lot of space, but it is waterproof, and you can go and switch it to nickel metal hydride if you want to. It is set up for LiPo right out of the box. In the back is where you go and install the battery that is included. It is a LiPo battery, and I think it's like 500 milliamps, so that should work out pretty well for some long runs on a smaller vehicle like this. All right, I'm pretty close to the spot where I'm gonna start running. So why don't I get this thing turned on and we could talk about the chassis while we do some crawling. Here it is, the perfect spot to drive and talk about the rest of the features of this rig. Now, it does have a steel ladder frame chassis on there, just like the 10 scale style of truck. And it's got plastic shock hoops, plastic cross braces. The shocks on here are just friction dampers with springs, and they mate up to the axles and the 4-link suspension on this. So it's 4-link front and rear. The axles look like the Enduro axles that we saw on the larger vehicles, just scaled down. They have a ring and pinion gear on the inside. The front just looks like dog bone and cup. And while I was browsing through the parts and stuff, I noticed that it does have bushings throughout this kit. So it's not a ball bearing kit, just something to note there. But the axles have plastic steering knuckles up front, and in the rear it's just got the lockouts that go to the out to the wheel. Now, the drivetrain on this is pretty good for such a small truck. It's got a transmission mounted towards the front, as I mentioned before, with the motor hanging over the front axle for the weight. The transmission mates up to a divorced transfer case. It's got a little steel dog bone that does that mates up the transmission to the transfer case, and then it's got slider shafts down to the axles. And that really makes up this truck. But so far, I'm liking this little rig in this little small spot that I've been driving it in for you guys. I did notice that when I first started, it didn't have a ton of steering. And I looked at the dual rate on the radio system, and it was only at about 50%. So I cranked it up all the way, and it definitely turns a lot better now. So that's something you might want to consider. But so far, the steering is pretty good. There is full throttle on this thing. Not crazy fast, but again, this is a small truck, so it's actually pretty scale for full throttle, I would say. But very cool look. I like the truck body, the lights up front. Give it that little extra detail right out of the box for $100. That's cool that they include those LED lights. These tires seem to do pretty well so far, these soft tires. You can see some chattering and stuff. Oh, that rolled it over and on all fours. Nice. So the throttle seems pretty smooth. Drag brake wise, it's got some roll to it. I wasn't expecting a really good drag brake, but it seems fair for the size of the truck. But $99. This is a pretty good deal for $99. I think it's crawling pretty well. I like how when you come to a stop, the lights dim on the front bumper, and then they get brighter as you pull the throttle. Let's come over here. Let's just crawl this rock, see how it does. It steers fairly well, and then the throttle just kind of drops out. It didn't hang up on that rock. That was pretty good. All right, let's go find some more challenging spots for the Enduro 24. All right, here's another cool little spot on the trail, and this rock here should give it a challenge in the throttle department. Let's see how smooth it is. It does kind of hang up a bit, but a little more throttle pulls it out. So, for a speed controller and ready to run this size, I'm not expecting much more than that, but it seems to be pretty smooth. Back it up. It does look pretty cool. It's got that Sendero look that everybody has really come to like. Go around the tree here. Let's go up this little rock face. Let's see if it crawls at. Yeah. Oh, got hung up. Back off. And throttle it. Oh, it doesn't have enough rip to get over that. Oh, come on. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Just had to punch that throttle, let it do its job. That's pretty cool. It does look cool. I mean, especially if you got a small backyard with some rocks and stuff in it, this could be pretty cool for that. Or if you just want to set something up indoors, I could see this being a lot of fun, going over like stacks of books and Legos and stuff. Let's see if we get to open over this tree. No, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make that. But let's go run this thing through the water just a little bit. Got to get the tires wet when you're next to a lake. So I think it's time to wrap up our outdoor review of the Enduro 24. And the way I'm looking at this truck is a fun crawler. And for $100, I think it definitely delivers. It's got some good steering to it once you turn up the dual rate. The throttle works pretty well. It does kind of stall a little bit when you're going up some steep inclines, but a little punch to the throttle and you'll get right up and over the obstacle. Suspension is a little bouncy, but that's to be expected with the springs that are on there, but it does do well in in applications that are scaled to the truck. So if you're going to go out and crawl some stuff like you are a 10 scale vehicle, probably not going to be a lot of fun. But if you go ahead, scale things down, this certainly is a great truck to drive. And you know, like Element does, they've got this cool factor to their brand. And you know, if you're an Element fan, this is definitely one to add to your collection. I like it. Maybe I'll do some tweaks to it to make it my own, and you know, add a little weight to the front, see if I can get it to handle a little bit better. Who knows? I'm excited to see what people are going to do with these trucks, and they're just a blast to drive. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed our outdoor review of the Element RC Enduro24 Sendero. If you haven't done so yet, please click that subscribe button and the notifications bell. Throw this video a like. We'll see you back soon for some more RC driver videos.